then he makes his protein shake. I like that the vibe of this is kind of like, look, you don't need to have this crazy exciting life to, you know, have a fulfilling life. You can just be a normal dude who goes to work. Social media is lying to you. I'm happy. And then he lowers his laptop into his backpack so slowly and sadly. Also, you didn't have to add the sad music to it too. What exactly are you trying to convey here? Listen to this music he added. I love my life. Okay, so anyway, let's see. He goes off to work, puts out his trash, and he goes to work. So I appreciate it. It's a pretty normal morning routine. It might even be more structured than my morning routine. Honestly, I feel like he tried to make me feel good about having a normal routine, but he actually did still make me feel like shit a little bit. He seems to have his life together pretty good. He's got time to make himself a smoothie every morning. And this video has 500,000 likes. That's pretty crazy. So, I mean, there is a market for this kind of content. I think it seems like people really appreciate it. This is exactly my life, except I live with my parents, don't have a job or a car, but I do have a blue polo shirt. Yeah, this is exactly my life too. I'm a multi-millionaire woman who lives in the Philippines who's retired, but I do have the same inhaler. Yeah, normalize the norm. Haha, that is actually very true. On social media, people seem to think working a 9-to-5 is crazy. For real. Still can live a happy, good life with a normal 9-to-5 job. Okay, here's another. Life after college as a 28-year-old with a normal job. This one has even more likes, 700,000. So I guess that's like his signature thing, is just lowering his laptop into his backpack super slowly. I'm gonna start doing that every time I leave the house to show my wife and child how happy I am and how excited I am to go to work. I'm gonna be like, all right, honey, off I go for the day. Head to my 9-to-5, employee benefits. Ooh, he's flexing his benefits, okay. And look at him, he's just, he's working in a normal looking cubicle, and he's eating leftover Jersey Mike's. But I guess even like a year ago, he did have some controversy. So this article is from April of 2024. A Texas-based office worker has gone viral thanks to his upbeat videos. I don't know if I'd go that far. Were they upbeat? Was I missing something? Showing his normal life, including his office routine, his recreation time, as well as his vacations, has divided the internet. So I don't know what could possibly be so divisive about this content, aside from, I guess it is kind of boring by nature, but that is the point. The TikToker in question is 29-year-old Connor Hubbard, who posts online as Hub's Life. Many see Hubbard's life to be unbearably mundane, leading one ex-user to joke that the vlogger was stuck in the Matrix, while others see it as normal and fulfilling. Honestly, it really would suck to put your life online, you know, and share so much about your personal day-to-day activities with the premise that like, hey guys, my life is okay too. Look it. I can be happy living my life, and people online are like, you should not be happy living that life, man. That is not okay. At least become like a travel vlogger or something, dude. How can you possibly enjoy life like that? In one 1-minute and 20-second long clip, which was reshared on X, the Texas native begins his day by showing and getting dressed for his office job where he works in insurance at a Fortune 500 company. Honestly, it sounds like he's got a great thing going. He's got a dog. He's got a job, employee benefits, in parentheses. Oh, and he's also married and has a child? Yeah, 29, married his high school sweetheart after they studied finance together at college and are now expecting their first baby. Honestly, right now I'm on his side. I think it's crazy to look at someone who lives a very normal life. Like, you know, this is probably how your parents lived. This is how my parents lived. Everybody just gets a job, and then you can do fun stuff on the side. I guess like he is only showing his job and like walking his dog, and so it makes it seem like that's all he does. I'm sure he does other fun stuff. Maybe that's the issue. He's got to bust the camera out sometimes when he's actually having a good time. But look, I mean, for better or worse, this is kind of what life is, you know? You get a job, and then you work, and you try to find enjoyment out of it. Looks like he's getting some enjoyment out of it. I mean, look at that face. In another recent video, Hubbard is shown on vacation in Turks and Caicos Island with his pregnant wife and high school sweetheart, Maddie Swearingen, on their baby moon. Okay, that's sick. It's going on a vacation to Turks and Caicos. Honestly, though, I mean, that's a nice-ass vacation. Is his life actually almost too good to be making this kind of content? He's like, look, you can live a normal life. What's so bad about flying private to Turks and Caicos with your wife for your baby moon? I don't think he flew private. That was a joke. I do feel like I'm seeing the inner influencer in him come out a little bit, where he's like, even when he went to work, he was like trying to brag just a little bit. He was like, going to work benefits? Okay, so I think here is where a whole new controversy starts to develop. So this is in March of last year, and we're starting to get the undercurrents of something changing. When you build a following big enough to leave your 9-to-5, but your content revolves around the 9-to-5, so you can't quit your job. Wait, I thought that you stayed at your job because you can still live a happy, fulfilling life with the job. And now you're acting like all your fans are holding you hostage in this job. You guys, you can be happy, perfectly happy working this normal job, and if you guys weren't all looking, I would quit right now and spend the rest of my life in the Cayman Islands with my wife. Would you quit your job to do social media full time? I get this question all the time. The answer, no. I wouldn't quit my job to do this full time. I love my 9-to-5 as it provides health insurance, steady income, 401k structure, career growth opportunities, etc. You know, I have been out of like the actual job market for a while, so I don't know if this is true or not, but it does seem like all of these things are actually becoming less commonly normal as well. So like even this is like really good. Career growth, 401k, and health insurance. Yeah, honestly, dude, I think you should keep your job. I enjoy the people I work with and genuinely like the work that I do. I have been making videos for a very long time as a hobby and a passion of mine. I left the 9-to-5 years ago to pursue videography and social media full time for a startup company. Oh, so he already did that. Moral of the story, you don't have to quit your job to pursue other passions. A 9-to-5 job is just a chapter in your story, not the entire book. Use the 9-to-5 to finance the life you truly want to live. Look, I mean, I think that there's both sides to this coin. All right. Obviously, most people, if they could quit a mundane job to work in the field of their passion, I think a lot of people would do that. I think probably most people would do that. Like if you're making the same amount of money or more from the passion, like of course anyone would jump at that opportunity. But also, if that's not an option, like if that never happens for you, I don't think you're wasting your life working a regular job. You know, you got to make money somehow. And I don't think like having the mindset that you're wasting your life working this job is a good mindset to have, whether you like your job or not. You know, it's perfectly acceptable to not like your job too. So honestly, I can see he's in a tricky spot here because I am getting the vibe here that he would... I think he's lying when he's saying that he doesn't want to leave his 9-to-5. The whole thing here says when you build a following big enough to leave your 9-to-5, but your content revolves around your 9-to-5, so you can't quit your job. He's saying the reason he's not is because of his following, not because of the risk or whatever else. At any rate, I'm getting the sense that something is about to shift. Something's about to happen. So this was March 12th of 2024. Let's flash forward to February 10th of this year. Stop scrolling. You won't want to skip this one. I've been doing a 9-to-5 and a 5-to-9 every single day. Work 9-to-5. Dad, 5 to 9, content creator 24/7. Hold on, that's not the appropriate time allocation at all. Shouldn't you be a dad 24/7? He's like, I work 9 to 5. I'm a dad from 5 to 9. Late at night, early in the morning. That kid is not mine. I don't know who that kid is. And then all the while he's hanging out with this kid, he's a content creator. He's thinking, where's the content coming from? His whole shtick is not being a regular content creator, but you know what you're starting to sound like? A regular content creator. I filmed, edited, and posted a video every day for the last 700 days. Honestly, pretty solid grind. I gotta respect that. So I've made a decision. I'm going to kill the United Healthcare CEO. Wait, holy shit, this is Luigi. Oh my god. No, what is he gonna do? For a new kind of 9-to-5. Welcome to chapter 2. Okay, so a little bit vague about what chapter 2 is, but from this video, it does seem like he got a new job. I mean, he walked into an office building and went into a different cubicle. All right, let's see what people think about this. Congrats, brother. Congrats, Hubs. Each chapter gets better. So proud of you, brother. Here for it, to say the least. Let's go! So he's being a little bit coy in this video, a little bit vague. Let's see if the next video, he's gonna tell us what he's actually doing now. My last day at my 9-to-5. Does next, I hope it puts a little more pep in his step. What if the next video, working his new kind of 9-to-5, he like slams his laptop into his backpack. Time to go to work. Yeah, I was sad the whole time. I lied. I fucking lied. Yep, you right. Also being a dad for 4 hours and becoming a new dad on top of that. Okay, I'm joking around about the dad thing just because he said that he's only a dad for 4 hours. It is tough becoming a new dad, all right? Respect. Hub's Life, if you're watching this, I have a 1-year-old. He's actually like 18 months now. So, respect. I know that it's tough. All right, let's cut to the chase here. What are you gonna do? So come on, dude, tell us what the new 9 to 5 is. He is being really vague about it. He posted even another video, chapter 2 begins, and people are still commenting, what's the new job? I am genuinely so intrigued on what this new job, it does seem like he's trying to hide what his new job is, which I feel like I'm starting to get a sense of what the new job is after he said I would never quit my 9 to 5 to be an influencer, and now he's quit his 9 to 5 and is like, this is a new, different kind of 9 to 5 that I just made up. No one's ever done this before. And the comments are like, oh, sick, can you tell us what it is? And he's like, how about a video of me shooting a milk jug into the garbage can? Okay, so this is his new type of 9 to 5, unpacked. Love to see that he's still doing it super slowly. Made a to-do list and check emails. Edit YouTube, okay. Edit YouTube day in the life, lunch. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear from this video, he was editing during the work day. I think it's pretty clear he quit his job to be an influencer, right? So let's see, people responding under this. What's the new job? Editing his own videos in a WeWork space. So he's like renting an office cubicle. That way he has his own space to do his influencer type of work. And honestly, like I said, I think that he put himself in a very tricky situation. I don't think that there's anything wrong with having a passion and then, you know, once the passion starts to pay the bills, pursuing that full time. Is there a bit of cognitive dissonance there? Being like, look, the regular 9 to 5 life, normal 9 to 5 life is fine and you can live a fulfilling life, and then quitting that to go pursue being an influencer? Yeah, there is. But I also think, like, you know, it's one, well, shit. I don't know. I think you can do both things at once. I think you can say it is possible to live a fulfilling life doing the 9 to 5 thing, but also your life would be way fucking better if you did social media full time, dude. How I go and knowing everybody knowing that I'm someone they can't be in with me, they join. Whoa, okay. I feel like he's enjoying life a little bit more now, though. I mean, the music is bumping. It's a T.I. song. On the way home, he picked up some beers and used a funny little face filter. The reason that I've found out about this is because some of his shorts were coming up in my YouTube feed, and I was seeing that he was commenting back to people. So I started to see these a couple weeks ago, and at first when he started debuting his chapter 2, people were commenting, everyone thought you were going to do YouTube full time. Congrats on the new job, and I respect your dedication to greatness. So, you know, his vague videos of him just working in an office, people thought, oh, okay, he didn't quit his job to be an influencer. He got a new 9 to 5. Hub's Life responded, appreciate it. YouTube will always be part of my life. So he's kind of agreeing with him while also not lying. Hey man, we're all glad you didn't quit your 9 to 5 just to do YouTube full time. Ah, yes, I love videos. Here's a video of him showing off his new 9 to 5 again, working in the office, editing his videos and whatnot, pursuing his new kind of 9 to 5. I do take a little issue with him phrasing it like he invented being an influencer. So I thought of this idea, right? What if I vlog my life and then I edit those videos and I make money from that forever? This person commented, having an actual 9 to 5 is what made people connect with your videos. Definitely doesn't feel the same documenting an influencer lifestyle, but seeing you have kids, it makes a lot of sense to quit your job to focus on them. It's a job in and of itself. I'd do the same. And then someone commented under that, he's renting a cubicle to pursue content creation, leaving the 9 to 5, which he preached about so much, and why he had followers. His whole channel is hypocritical now. And then Hub's Life responded to that comment saying, why you crying, little bud? And then someone different responded to that, that's not very nice. And Hub's Life responded to them, cry? Oh, that's crazy. Might I suggest you cry as well? Hub's Life, man, that is not very nice. You have a baby. I hope that's not how you think you're supposed to get someone to stop crying. Is by being like, cry? You crying, little bud? So I was more or less on his side, you know, at least in regards to, you know, what I do the exact same thing. Yeah. I don't know that I would be in my own comments arguing with people about it. See, that's kind of rubbing me the wrong way a little bit. Next, he's gonna be commenting back, you're just mad because you're broke and working a dumbass 9 to 5. Don't you know you can't be happy working one of those? Why don't you go slide your laptop into your backpack slowly, you fucking loser? A day in my life trying to make $1,000 a day as a full-time content creator.
We see you getting after your fitness goals. But what about those money goals? You can count on Credit Karma for a clear view of your finances and your progress, helping you see results so you can keep checking off those financial personal bests and find your way to money. Progress never felt so good. Download the Intuit Credit Karma app and start achieving your money goals today. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Oh, okay. I was worried we were gonna get like a shot up his robe. He was like, step 1, OnlyFans. Start day with a walk to clear the mind. Get a 20-minute workout in. Sold some bar stools on Facebook Marketplace for $1,000 each, and I'm done. Oh. Hell yeah. All right, and here's one of his more recent modern Hub's Life era videos. I'm curious to see how documenting his life is different now that he's a full-time influencer, because maybe it is kind of the same. So let's see. You know what? I'll give him this. He is able to take his new job, which most people sounds very exciting, being a full-time influencer, working for yourself, and make it still look super boring. So I'll give him that, you know? To be fair, honestly, you know, I'm a full-time YouTuber. I don't know if you guys knew that. This job can just feel like a regular office job at times. There's a lot of answering emails. There's a lot of typing away on my computer. Obviously, it comes with some immense benefits. I work from home. I set my own hours. My wife and child are upstairs. I can go hang out with them anytime I want. But for the purposes of just documenting it and, you know, trying to maintain that look of a normal lifestyle, I feel like he can still do that. There's just that little hint of like, did you not mean anything you said earlier? That I think is rubbing people the wrong way. So I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think of it. Again, I'll be the first to admit I haven't been in the workforce for a while. I don't know what it's like. So would you do the same thing? Should he have just pretended he still worked at his old job and never even said anything about quitting his job? Maybe that's what he should have done, actually. He should create a set of his old office and just pretend he works there forever. In like 30 years, he hires actors to throw him a retirement party. That'd be crazy. Hub's Life. If the controversy gets too bad, you pretend to go back to your old 9-to-5 job and just do that. I got you, bro. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you guys could quit your job to be an influencer, would you? Let me know. Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to the hottest club in town. So today I want to do something I haven't done in a very long time, and that is pretty much make an entire video about one tweet. You're shopping at your local food market and you notice this young woman from behind. How do you open? At first I was really confused because I've always been under the impression that you can't open a bag of chips in the store, that you have to pay for it first, otherwise they'll get mad at you. But then I realized they're talking about the girl. How do you open the girl? And then I spent the next 20 minutes scrolling through the joke responses and having the time of my life. Say, let me get that for you. And then climb up the shelves, pulling them down and injuring both of us. Tell her I'm exhausted from pushing around my shopping cart and ask her to push it while I ride in the children's seat. But the most accurate response I saw was, oh, excuse me, just gotta sneak right past you real quick. The original tweet was such a stupid question that got all of the mockery it deserved. But then I realized that nothing could be funnier than all of the genuine responses from guys who are like, I got this. I will answer this question, and I will do it in the creepiest way possible. Do you know how many calories are in that bag? I'll eat them for you. We can't have the future Mrs. X getting fat, can we? Yeah, I think that'll go well. I think that's a good opening line to use on someone you've never spoken to before.
You shouldn't eat those. What? Well, if you're gonna be my wife, I don't want you to get fat. That's a good point.
Make sure I'm smelling nice. Brush close to her from her left side whilst picking one of the lay package, whatever that. Turn, gaze into her eyes with a warm smile and tell her I would have handed her that if it was written slay because she's slaying. That is weirdly choreographed. He even picked a side. Would it have been different if he came in from the right? Does he not want to get pepper sprayed in his good eye? It's a shame that that went the way it did because he got off to such a promising start. Make sure I'm smelling nice? Underrated first step. Though now I'm curious to know how he would have proceeded if he didn't smell nice. Run over to the deodorant aisle real quick. Or like go home and shower and hope that in 30 minutes she'll still be deciding on chips. Hey, did you know these are half off today? Check the coupon in the back. I don't see it. Should be there. Do you wear glasses? Ha! I do. Or maybe I need some, etc. By the way, you look familiar. Have we met? Should be able to get her from there. Oh yeah, dude. You are in. I think you've laid all the necessary groundwork here. I mean, at this point, the conversation practically speaks itself. I love how many of these are like that though, where they clearly lose steam by the end, and so they're just like, You get the idea. This guy didn't even finish one sentence before giving up. Hey, I like your style. Did you buy your outfits from the blah blah place? You know, one of those stores that sell girl pants. I don't know, I'm so tired. This guy gave two options. Number one, is it cheat date for you? Or have you tried Cool Ranch? Would you call it Cool Ranch? No, I've never heard of that, but it sounds delicious. What do you say we split a bag in my bed? At this point, you may be thinking that these are all so bad that surely they have to be jokes as well, right? I feel like the key to identifying genuine responses in a sea of satire is to look at their bios. If he describes himself as a business tycoon or a gentleman or, you know, some kind of alpha, he wasn't joking. This is his life. Occasionally, you'll hit the jackpot of Twitter bios. Cryptocurrency enthusiast and convicted felon. Well, at least he's proud of it. Like, I just can't imagine that an account called Red Pill Maestro that retweets pickup artists all day, every day is doing some elaborate bit that only he is aware of. Hey, that's my bag! Thanks for getting them for me. I'll take them from here. Top shelf? Naughty. What's naughty about the top shelf? Is that where they keep all the sexy Doritos? Was just gonna ask if you would mind reaching the top shelf for me. I always struggle. Looks at me, obviously I don't. Hey, why not grab a bag for yourself while you're up there? The thing she was already doing until you snatched it out of her hand like a child. The best responses though are the guys like Bow-Tied Grey Wolf who initiate small talk about Doritos. Alternatively, you could try the snack similarity approach. Walk up, grab a bag, and say something like, "These are my favorite. Glad to see someone else with good taste as well. Have you tried these?" Point at a different variation. "Glad to see someone else with good taste as well. Have you tried the purple bag? I just woke up from a 60-year coma." You know, this might be a viable tactic if it was like some niche Trader Joe's snack, but they're talking about Doritos, the most common brand of chips. Oh, I love Doritos. Here, let me help you. I talk to women the same way I would talk to a stray dog. So a lot of great options to choose from, but I have a feeling the guy who tweeted it wasn't asking for advice. He doesn't need it. In fact, he's the self-proclaimed master opener of women, which either means that he's really good at starting conversations or he's literally opening women up. So maybe just call the cops. After 4,000 approaches, I share my step-by-step sexcalation system to getting laid fast. Is the sex itself supposed to be fast? Because I don't need a guide on that. Also, 4,000 approaches? I find it telling that he's not leading with how many women he's successfully slept with, which would also be creepy, but just how many he's tried to talk to. But clearly with tweets like this, all he's doing is prompting Twitter outrage in order to plug his book called Conversation Casanova Mastery. If there's one thing I don't want to do, it's give money to this guy. But also I don't need to because all of these courses are exactly the same. You see hot girl and you want sex, but brain too stupid, you too stupid. For $20, I teach you how to talk good, and now you have girlfriend. Tempting, for sure, but given that we've already seen his students in action, I'm gonna say this book is probably not worth the money. Speaking of which, his other business endeavor is called Womanese 101, because if I wanna know the language of women, I'm gonna ask some random dude.
Women speak Womanese, a cryptic language that men have trouble understanding. Save yourself from years of pain, confusion and heartbreak. Get the book now.
I love that this guy is advertising a book that's supposed to teach you what women are saying, and I can't even understand what he is saying. If you are too sex to make a move on a woman that you like, you are pathetic. Your ancestors fought in World War II. Oh my God. The first thing you can do to instantly raise your sexual market value is to get better at being a producer of emotions that women value. Specifically fun, intrigue, and good emotions. Did Mark Zuckerberg write this? This is the absolute most robotic and insane way to say, Girls like guys who are fun. The best part about this account is you don't even have to come to the conclusion on your own that this is predatory. He literally describes himself as a predator. That's not a good thing. Needless to say, womanese is not exactly a hit with the ladies, which, sort of invalidates it altogether.
This is how girls talk.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay. I think I would know.
But I read a little bit about it. What is it with pickup artists always implying there's some kind of anatomical secret to seducing women? Uncontrollable attraction within a woman's limbic system. Yeah, so if you look closely, you'll notice that all girls have a little knob on the back of their neck, and you're gonna wanna make sure that's turned over to the horny setting, otherwise you're not getting anywhere with them. Also, be unfuckable with, that is an amazing word, although I'm pretty sure they were supposed to cut out the last part. Anyway, after the resounding success of that first tweet, Mr. Casanova became so addicted to getting dunked on that he did it again. You're at a college house party and you notice this young woman leaving the female restroom. How do you open? I would have so many questions. How did I get here? Which college is this? Can I go home? Where's my wife? And who has gendered bathrooms at a house party? You have a nice body by what I can see, but is the rest of it nice too? I don't know. Is it? So the thinking with that is that she'll get defensive and then be like, yeah, it's nice. Here, let me show you. Oh, wait a minute. You got me. You're such a Renaissance man. I almost forgot. One of the responses I loved the most to the original tweet was from an account called Got Pickup Lines App. So this is an entire app programmed to generate clever one-liners to say to women. The perfect tool for aspiring creeps. But with the power of technology on our side, this should be the best pickup line of them all. Let's see what they came up with. See a cute girl looking at a food item, go over and grab the same item, look at her and say, aren't these good? These are so good.
I wish I could eat them all day. Oh, they taste so good.
Tums?
The ultimate seduction tool. Have you ever thought to yourself, what should I say to her? What was that line I read? Sadly, what usually happens next is you end up staring at the girl without even talking to her. And yeah, bro, she sees that as creepy. But you know what's not creepy? Constantly stopping mid-conversation to look down at your phone and say whatever an app tells you to.
So, where'd you go to school?
That's a good question.
You don't remember?
No, I do. I just gotta type in school.
Type into what?
University of Tennessee.
Really?
Because you're the only 10 I see.
Holy shit. No, wait, I went to Yale.
Seriously?
I was worried if I told you, you'd think I was some kind of nerd.
Because you went to a good school?
No, that's like the only good thing you've said so far.
Yeah, I guess it is.
So what did you major in?
Pussy.
Oh my god.
Then he goes on to cite a social experiment done by someone whose name he spelled wrong that allegedly confirms that you can teach someone how to flirt well as long as they have higher social status. So if you're having trouble picking up women, just have a lot of money? Or be a prince? Now, if you were worried this website wouldn't turn into a rant against woke culture, don't be, because it does. Sure, us guys have had to change the way we communicate with females, both in and out of the workplace, especially when it comes to telegraphing sexual interest. We've learned to make verbal advances in code using covert language known as sexual innuendo, to be able to interact with women without triggering those who are more easily offended.
Jesus Christ.
I tell you what, sometimes it feels like you're not even allowed to grope your coworkers anymore without someone getting triggered. That's not called being triggered. That's being sexually harassed. Even if you're hitting on someone using covert language, like some kind of horny detective, that's still inappropriate. You're still gonna get reprimanded by your HR rep.
You, want to see me?
Yeah, so I heard from Jessica that you've been telling her how much you want to put your hot dog in her bun?
Uh-huh.
You can't say that.
Oh, what? A guy's not allowed to talk about food?
Clearly you weren't talking about food.
But I technically was.
You also apologized in advance if the mustard comes out too fast?
It's a sensitive bottle.
That's disgusting. You're fired.
Fine. All right. I don't care. Oh, and by the way,
Sorry I triggered you. Only on Netflix. Side note, for anyone who needs to hear this, innuendos are not some sort of secret doublespeak that only geniuses can decode. Usually you're just coming up with a different word for penis. It's not any more clever than a 12-year-old boy who ends every sentence with "that's what she said." So anyway, now we're at a point where the "how do you open" tweets are just popping off left and right. So even more alpha male Twitter accounts are getting in on the action, and somehow they're worse every time. You're in a restaurant with your friends where you spotted this hot girl on opposite table. How would you open? Well, I think we can all agree that there is only one right answer. You know, according to psychology, a person who sits alone in a restaurant can be addicted to be alone. She replies, "So what?" Then I say, "So I can help you to not get addicted to it." You're at the beach and it's sunset time. You notice this young woman vibing alone, and you've identified that what she actually is doing is begging for your attention. How do you open? I'm sure we'll get some nice, normal responses here. Sup, mamas, me likey what I see. What's your evening plan, babe? Maybe we can go back to my crib and see what's up. Oh, what's that? Why, yes, I am single, hee hee. I know there's plenty of fish in the sea, but I never imagined I would find one so thick. She will smile/laugh and say, "Are you calling me a fish?" Don't respond. Wait, don't respond? But it was going so well. Don't respond, just ask her name and number. Trust me, she will give it to you. Trust me, she will say that, and she will give you her number. I'm sure of it. See, this is a problem with a lot of these guys' mindset. It's not just that they're enacting the protocol they learned in How to Be a Creep 101. It's that they've already planned out how the girl will respond. Like she doesn't have the free will to say something else. You can't script out both sides of a conversation. Your life is not a rom-com written by you. What if she doesn't say the fish thing? What if she's like, "Who are you?" or "Go away"? Then what do? Panic? Ask the director to yell "cut"? This isn't a movie. But the reason they think that they can drive a conversation is because at their core, men like this don't view women as people. They're taught by all these sex-crazed Twitter predators that if you just turn the right knobs and press the right buttons, then you'll be in control of her. Or as this guy put it, they treat women like they're NPCs whose sole questline revolves around marrying you. Just look at some of these tweets that have way too many likes for what they are. She's like a robot. She blindly follows her female psychology software program. Never take what a woman says or does personally. On an emotional level, she is just a child, which is why we talk to them like one. Aww. She doesn't know what she truly wants, desires, or needs. She just goes along with the flow of the emotional moment. Unlike men, who are notoriously level-headed. I do want to point out a little bit of hypocrisy here, because on one hand, they'll say things like, don't compromise anything for her. She doesn't deserve it. Show interest, not desperation. But also, you should take an astrology class because that's where girls are. Fuck what she thinks. What matters is what you think. Have supreme confidence in who you are and what you stand for. And then the very next tweet, like 20 minutes later, to establish a strong emotional connection with her, find what she's really passionate about in life and connect with her on that. Learn what she likes and pretend to like it too. Or wait, I thought I was supposed to be myself. I'm so confused. Do I demean and belittle women, or do I spend thousands of dollars on a class I'm not interested in just to be in the same room as boobs? But that's kind of the inherent irony to all these Twitter accounts where they're like, I'm a big, strong guy. I'm in charge, I'm in control, and I have dedicated my entire personality to tricking women into talking to me. Jokes aside, all of this is genuinely disturbing. Not just that accounts like this exist, but that thousands of men follow them and hang on to their every word like some kind of incel religion. Being single is hard, and getting your heart broken sucks, but there's not some secret you can buy to make women start falling all over you. And it's so much easier to deflect the blame onto everyone else than to admit that maybe you're the problem. Women are evil. They exist merely to torment me. And the problem with all these dating books is that they're capitalizing on those insecurities to make money off of lonely dudes. And then in the worst cases, it emboldens those men to blame women even more, because it's like, well, I bought the book, I did everything I was supposed to do, and she still won't talk to me? They really are the problem. And now you're like this lunatic who approaches every interaction like it's some challenge to see who can be more manipulative. What a healthy dating life you have ahead of you. You're like a self-fulfilling prophecy on failed relationships. If I could offer any advice, it would be to just imagine that women are like human beings, just like you. And then once you do that, you could try connecting with them, person to person. And if she still doesn't like you, that's okay. At least you were authentic. Maybe she's just not the person for you. Try again. Don't just give up and start resenting all women, because that shit's not gonna work either, no matter how much the Twitter guy told you it would. Oh, also, don't hit on people in grocery stores. No one wants that. All right, well, I've been talking for a while. I can feel myself starting to lose some steam, so I think I'm gonna toss it over to pre-recorded me to take it from here.
Hi, I'm trapped in a well, and I'm founder and CEO of pictureofhotdog.com, the world's most popular website that isn't porn. I get over 4,000 DMs every single day from people congratulating me on my one-of-a-kind creation, and today I just want to say thank you. And I know, it's honestly better than Google. So to celebrate almost 2 years now of changing people's lives, I've decided to add yet another new topping, trophy. I couldn't have done it without you, hot dog. But I also couldn't have done it without the help of today's sponsor, Squarespace. So you want to build a website, but you don't know how. That's where Squarespace comes in. They've got all the tools you could possibly need to turn your idea into a reality without having to know how to code or do web design. Just start out by picking one of their dozens of designer templates that'll make your website look great before you've even added content to it. Then you can pretty much just drag and drop. It's so easy you'll wonder why you never did it sooner. You can spice things up by adding a video background, embedding audio if you have a podcast or music. You can add a comment section to hear feedback from people or have them insult a corn dog. And if you've got your own product that you want to sell using an online store, Squarespace is perfect for that too. Trust me, I've done it twice now. To get started with a 14-day free trial, head to squarespace.com/Drew, and then when you're ready to launch your brand new beautiful website, use my code DREW for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, and shout out to all the people who've used my code in the past to make a website, because you're the reason they keep supporting my channel. All right, now back to me from the future.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This is my second time recording the outro because the first time I did it, my microphone wasn't on. Anyway, thanks for making it to the end. If you liked this video, be sure to unsubscribe from me immediately and block me on every social media platform. I want to end this one a little differently than I usually do, so I figured let's play a game of hide and seek. I'll go first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting to 100. 8, 9. See you guys next time. 10, 11, 11 and a half, 12, 13. You ever watch a wholesome video on TikTok or Instagram and it makes you feel good? I mean, so much of the internet can be this toxic, argumentative wasteland, but for once you're sitting there smiling at your phone. Imagine that. Imagine a piece of content that actually makes your day better. And then you open up the comment section and it's a fucking war zone. Going into 2023 with the same person since 2010. Oh, that's nice. They've been together for a very long time. Clearly they've worked hard and been able to make a life for themselves centered around their shared interest. And I mean, really, that's the dream for anybody, no matter what that shared interest may be. And who cares about this? Cringe. Video gaming is the worst hobby one could have. What a waste of time. Not like what I do, which is spend all day on my phone telling other people that they're wasting their time. I'm pissed. Living behind a screen. Aren't you doing the same thing? No. You have gamer in your bio. Are gamers extremely lazy? Do they ever get up? I like to think that this person isn't making fun of them. They're just genuinely concerned for their well-being. Like, wait, have they really been sitting there for 13 years? I hope they're okay. What if they got stuck? Like, I know that you're opening yourself up to criticism whenever you post anything online. That's just the nature of the internet. But it's crazy that even the most uncriticizable posts where someone is just happily doing something and isn't hurting anyone else in the process still gets criticized. All right, here's another TikTok about dishes.
In our house, I cook, he does the dishes. And when he cooks, he does the dishes.
Harmless joke, right? They're just subverting expectations of what you might have expected her to say. So really, there's no reason for someone to get like super pissed about this or anything. Oh, so he's twice as useful as you are. L-girlfriend. So much entitlement. The women that posted this and the women that are commenting on this, just because you don't like doing it doesn't mean he does. So about helping and being a good person. He rather does the dishes because he knows you'll never do it without moaning about it or showing the initiative to just do it. You just let him do it because you're lazy and entitled, feeling a offended when called out. But ask yourself, if you're feeling called out, doesn't that prove my point? This video is 8 seconds long. Slavery. That's right, someone watched this video and thought, oh my God, that's exactly what being a slave is like. And 5 people agreed? Slavery is when I have to do the dishes, even though I was the one who cooked that night. Simps love to defend this irrational thinking. Imagine if the genders were reversed. I know, right? Then the comments might be insane. Normalize men doing chores. Normalize women changing oil and fixing the toilet and paying the bill. Ah, yes, changing oil and fixing toilets. 2 things that notoriously need to be done as often as the dishes. Shit, I change my oil every time I drive. Only the best for my car. How often do you even have to fix a toilet? Every couple of years at the most? What are you doing in there? You shitting grenades? Look, I don't know who this couple is, but I'm positive that this 8-second video does not sum up their entire relationship. Like, in my house, Amanda does the dishes like 90% of the time, but I cook 90% of the time. She cleans more often than I do, but I do all the grocery shopping. I don't know, one single chore doesn't tell the whole story. But even still, being in a relationship isn't supposed to be this one-to-one transactional exchange where every chore must be split down the middle and every good deed must be reciprocated immediately. Hey, I just did something nice for you. Do it back or I'm gonna post about this on TikTok. What are you talking about? It's my birthday. Oh, I'm supposed to give you a present too? You would if you loved me. Like, no, you just figure out what works best for you guys, and if something's not working, then you talk about it. Clearly, these people are traumatized from a past relationship where they had to do a chore, and they haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. It's time to move on, all right? You gotta let that shit go. There's another common type of TikTok I've seen multiple renditions of.
See you later.
You've been a great help today.
That's all right. Thank you. Bye.
And honestly, I like TikToks like this because I think this is really healthy and a good thing to point out. Like, having the desire to be by yourself for a little bit doesn't mean your marriage is bad all of a sudden or you've lost your spark. Most couples go through this. Most couples do this. You are still your own person with your own hobbies and interests. It's not the end of the world. Like, sometimes Amanda comes home from work and wants to tell me everything that happened that day, and that's great. And other times she just wants to come home and listen to a podcast and play Stardew Valley for 3 hours. And both of those are fine. That's not good or healthy for couples. Well, this is crazy unhealthy in a relationship. That is terrible relationship advice. When kids are down, it's time to be together. Each of you should have some time to do what you like, but do it while kids are up. One watches kids, then the other. It's a very specific rule. Me and my husband, we have 4 kids. That was in the 80s. All our time was about them. Now that they are growing and have their own family, me and him have some our time. We love being in around each other, but like, he wishing TV and working. I like being at home alone, and when we at home, we talk about everything, and then like I said, he in one room and I am in another. We've been married for 40 years, get along just fine. I think she's on my side here. I'm not 100% sure though. If you love somebody, you'll expect to have its company as much as they can. It seems like there are 2 kinds of negative responses to this. There's the people who misinterpret it to mean that they don't want to spend any time together, even though that's not at all what they're saying. This is what, like an hour of their day, some of the time, relax. But then there's also the people who use TikToks like this to just brag about their own relationship. Sad. We like to be with each other at bedtime, even after 9 years of marriage. Wait, you guys have alone time? That's a choice that you make. No, that's great. I'm happy for you. I guess it's just that you must not love each other very much because I spend every waking moment with my wife. We have the same job, the same hobbies, the same friend, us. Our bathroom has 2 toilets and they face each other. A few years back, I actually took a class on how to stop blinking, and now I don't do it anymore. What can I say? I guess I missed her too much when my eyes were closed. Of course, there's a balance to this, as this guy will tell you, not realizing that the people who posted the TikTok would probably agree with him. If you never prioritize your partner and you're constantly blowing them off to just do whatever you want, go hang out with your friends, that's a problem. If 100% of the time you'd rather be hanging out with your boys than paying any attention to your girlfriend, you probably shouldn't be dating her. You should be dating your boys. But at the same time, I wouldn't personally want to be in a relationship where my life solely revolves around the other person. You need time to cultivate your own interests and work on yourself so you actually have something to bring to the table. And honestly, sometimes when your partner is trying to minimize your other passions or turn you against your friends, it's kind of a manipulation tactic. They're trying to make you fully dependent on them so you have nowhere else to go and no one else in your life to point out all their red flags. I don't think a relationship should be about merging into one entity activity that is useless without the other person. Because if you get too far into it, you're gonna lose sight of who you were before you started dating. Just like with anything though, it comes down to what you and your partner agree on. If you both want to spend 24 hours a day holding hands and staring into each other's eyes, go for it. That's awesome. I'm not gonna stop you. But that's what really gets me about these comments is that for the most part, everybody's just arguing for their own personal preference in a relationship that they're not a part of. If you see a video like this and you think, well, that wouldn't work for me, or my wife and I could never do something like that, that's literally fine because you're not in the relationship. Like, I just don't understand the need to go around imposing the rules of your marriage onto everyone else. Like, what's the point of even trying to argue with how this couple lives their lives? They've been together for 13 years. If this lifestyle was unsustainable for them, they wouldn't have been able to sustain it. If you see this couple happily on the same page about something and then decide that actually you know what's best for them more than they do, no, you don't. Shut up. In classic internet fashion though, I found another TikTok that's almost exactly the same as these ones, but all of the comments are angry for the opposite reason.
After our kids go to bed, this is how my husband and I have been spending time together at night. I am rewatching all the Marvel movies, and my husband is over here racing in his racing simulator. So we're like kind of together, right?
Now, I'll admit, the vibe is a little different in this one. Whereas the other people were like proudly saying, hey, this is something we do. This is what works in our relationship. This woman seems a little bit more unsure. It also kind of looks like maybe she's been crying, but I don't know her life. I'm just going to assume that it was from the movie. Ultimately, I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate on it too hard because this is an Instagram reel and I don't know anything about these people. Is what I would say if I wasn't a crazy person. She just wants him to do what she wants to do. Yeah, she's not happy. Something's going on. She is low-key putting him down. Instead of just talking to her husband, instead she tries to make a video and post it, trying to shame him. Could you cry a little less? Have you offered or shown any interest in playing games with him, reach into his interests? I understand that you are not enjoying this quality time, visually obvious. Now, the thing that these comments all have in common is that they're all working off of an assumption. We have decided that this video is not sincere, and since that's now a fact that we all can agree on, it's okay to bully you for it. So I was curious, I found them on TikTok. I just saw this one on Instagram. And they made multiple follow-up videos where they had to be like, guys, can you stop telling us to get a divorce? Like, we love each other, we love our kids, we spend a lot of time together. I was just kind of tired because we both worked all day and you guys are looking into this way too hard. Please stop, it's weird. Okay, so mystery solved, right? And now that we have that context, I would like to present to you one of the most unhinged comments I have ever read in my life. I am certain that the purpose of this video was, we've got this whole history and all I'm asking for him is to sit here and watch these movies with me. I even put on Marvel movies because he likes them and I want to bait him over here to spend time with me because he never spends time with me after all that we've been through. I don't even care about Marvel movies. Right, because Marvel movies are for boys and women can't like superheroes. I'm just making sacrifices to stop enjoying my life, not doing things I want to do or grow as a person, have a hobby, all for him to just pay me the slightest bit of attention. No one appreciates sacrifices they didn't ask for. Do what you want to do. If that doesn't feel like quality time, speak up. If you feel like this relationship is costing everything you want from life, speak up. Otherwise, shut up. Holy shit. We're not even halfway through, by the way. And if you do speak up and that's not what he wants, it's okay to move on with your life. If you feel like you could do better and deserve more, go reach for it. But don't go crawling back just because you don't like the new life you have after you've thrown away your old one and destroyed all semblance of peace for yourself and your family. Stop wasting your time doing things that don't make you happy. You literally have this one life and you're choosing to cry on TikTok rather than make a meaningful difference. Obviously, he's happy and comfortable the way it is, and if you divorce him, he'll probably just enjoy more of his free time after a fucked up dark period of feeling worthless and that nothing that he does is enough, because that's what you're saying here. Nothing that has happened before was enough for you. Absolute insanity aside, he based this entire rant on the assumption that she's pretending to like the movies. Like, you never stop to think, what if this thing I'm making up isn't actually true? That would kind of destroy my entire argument and make me look like an asshole. Nah, I'll do it anyway. Isn't it fun though that the internet is so used to just yelling at each other all the time that you can post two videos with essentially the same thesis and cause a riot for two opposite reasons? Social media is so fun. I'm having a great time. Now, if you're anything like me, seeing all of this unasked for discourse kind of makes you never want to post any private information about yourself because people are just going to use it to bully you or speculate on your behalf. You might even think to post a TikTok where you're like, hey, my partner doesn't post about me on social media, but that doesn't mean the relationship doesn't work because he loves me in real life. And that's really all that matters to me. Only to find out that even that's wrong too. God, and don't even get me started on parenting TikTok. I would never in a million years post a video of my child because I'm just gonna get a bunch of comments from people telling me that I'm doing everything wrong. Like you'll see a video of a kid falling down, right? I'm not saying I seek those kind of videos out or anything. It's just sometimes they pop up and I watch them, okay? But the kid will fall down, right? And the mom will be like, oh no, are you okay? And someone will comment, wrong, let her get up on her own or she'll never learn how to be independent. And then you'll see the same kind of video where the parent will instead be like, hey buddy, you're fine, just shake it off. Wrong, she's clearly hurt. You were supposed to keep her safe and you failed. And now she'll never trust anyone and it's all your fault. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do then? Because it doesn't seem like anything is right to you guys. What's ironic about this though is I feel like a lot of these kind of commenters are the same people who will shame young people for not having kids yet. Come on guys, be useful to society, give birth already. And then post about them so we can nitpick all of your choices. Really though, that's just like the whole internet right now. No matter what kind of content you're making, no matter what you're doing, you'll just be living your life. And then someone will be like, that's not how I would do it. Well, I didn't ask, buddy. Now, the last video I want to point out has some pretty insane discourse, partly because I found it on Twitter. I mean, in general, when a TikTok gets reposted to Twitter, it's not usually like, hey, look at this funny TikTok I found. It's like, hey, look at this piece of shit I found. We should set their house on fire.
Day one of being a stay-at-home husband. Made us some tea and cuddled on the couch. And then I started to pack her lunch before she went to work with all her favorite foods. Snuck in a love note, drove her to work.
You get the idea, you know? It's a guy who loves his wife and is clearly doing a good job of taking care of her. They seem to be in a healthy, happy relationship. Not really anything to judge, right? This is more disturbing than gore. In what universe is that a superior life to living alone? It's a terrible lesbian couple. Okay, I lost it at the Beyond Meat jerky. I'm sorry, was there like a meeting they all went to where they all decided one day that all the guys like this on Twitter have to change their profile picture to some random dead guy statue? What does it mean? Every time you see someone on Twitter with a profile picture like this, I promise you they're about to say the worst take you've ever heard. The only thing gay here is using a straw at home. Fellas, is it gay to drink stuff? Have you noticed that like everything has discourse now? Everything is a debate, even if it doesn't need to be. And some of it is constructive. Of course, some of it is very much worth having, but then I'll see people arguing about like which basketball player is having a better season or how much cream you're supposed to put in your coffee. Like the fate of the world is on the line. I feel like there's this anger that's seeped into every part of the internet and it's so hard to avoid without just staying off of it altogether. Like you'll see the most innocuous comment in the world that for some reason has 97 replies and you're like, huh, what happened here? And the most recent reply will be like, no, I'm not the one defending genocide. You're the one. And it's like, huh, how did they, what? Who even brought that up? And I think what really sucks about it is so much of it is by design. Like there were those documents that came out that showed Facebook's algorithm was more likely to suggest something if a lot of people were using the angry reaction emoji. And then outside of Facebook, on Twitter, I've noticed that a lot of times the tweet at the top of a thread is not the one with the most likes, but the one with the most replies because it's the most controversial. It is the most likely way to stretch out the amount of time you spend on that thread because now instead of just the one original paragraph, there's now dozens of insane ramblings for you to scroll through. Even Instagram is starting to show some of the worst comments near the top. That's how I found the ones in this video. I wasn't scrolling to the bottom, they were at the top. And it's all because a computer told them that these kind of comments increase engagement. Let's not worry about what kind of engagement. Let's not worry about the fact that this specific kind of engagement actually makes people feel like shit and they're worse off when they leave the app than they were when they came onto the app. And not only is this making the overall user experience more negative, but by showing the hateful comments to more people because you know that that's what will get them to interact with it, aren't you like actively encouraging people to write hateful things? Like most of the time, if someone's being an asshole online, they're just doing it to rile people up. They're doing it to get a response. And if the algorithms did a better job of flagging and suppressing those things, and maybe after a while, those people would be like, it seems my efforts are fruitless. This is no way to spend my days. I need to get my shit together. And then they like put on a suit and tie. But from like the user side, our side, I don't really know what the answer is besides just like spending less time on the internet. It just sucks though, because sometimes it's really fun, you know? Sometimes I don't get pissed off at all. I just laugh a lot. I like the internet. I like connecting with people across the world. I like finding new talented creators and following them and seeing what kind of stuff they make. There's so much good out there. I wish it wasn't so depressing sometimes. Anyway, for all the people who have sat through this whole rant and didn't care because they don't really listen to me when I talk and they only watch these videos to see the ad read at the end, you're in luck because today's video is sponsored by Factor.
I've started doing a lot more meal prepping the past few months in an attempt to be slightly healthier as a person, and there are plenty of cons that go with it. For one, there's the time investment. If you're trying to count calories, it's not just the buying the food and doing all the cooking, but weighing everything out so you have equal portions. Even worse though is the lack of variety. Sure, I can make one big meal on a Sunday and eat it for lunch the next 5 days, but then I'm committed to eating the same thing all week. By the time Wednesday rolls around, I'm already tired of it and I still got 3 more in my fridge. So I started using Factor so I could stay on track with my health goals without sacrificing on variety and flavor. And the meals have been so good that Amanda is now stealing them from me. Thanks a lot, guys. Designing a meal plan around your dietary preferences is super easy. Whether you want something vegan or keto, low calorie, high protein, they've got 34 different chef prepared meals to choose from every week. You can even throw in a smoothie or two if you want. I'm not your boss. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, but it's microwave ready in just a couple of minutes, so it'll be nice and hot before you're even done picking out the YouTube video that you're gonna watch while you eat it. And I know what you might be thinking, Drew, what about HelloFresh? You have like a whole thing with them. And that's the thing, I'm doing both. Once for lunch, once for dinner. At this rate, I'll never have to step foot inside a grocery store ever again. My plan is working. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, and if you want to try it out for yourself, head to factor75.com and use my promo code DREW50 for 50% off your first box. Again, there's 50% off your first box with code DREW50, Drew being my name, of course, and 50 being the number of percentage off that the price is. That was the only way I could have said that. Thank you so much, Factor, for sponsoring today's video and saving me time that I didn't have to cook. Well, guy, I forgot to write an outro. Hope you have a good weekend. Or I actually don't know when I might be posting this on like a Wednesday. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go do jumping jacks outside of a gym until they are so impressed that they give me a free membership. Bye.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Okay, folks. My brain is rotting. I think I can physically feel it happening up there. I don't know what it is, but over the past couple of years, my daily screen time has been steadily increasing a point of no return. I will catch myself scrolling for so long, and in my head, I'll be like, why don't you put that fucking phone down? But I physically can't, dude. It's glued to my hand sometimes. I feel like Gollum sometimes, dude. Straight up, if a little hobbit grabbed my phone and threw it into the fires of Mount Doom, I'd be diving right in after it, man. And that movie would be called Lord of the Rings, The Two 5G Towers. That's the best I got. TikTok especially has completely engulfed our attention spans for the past couple of years, and not just consuming content, but creating it as well. And I feel like compared to a platform like YouTube, historically the barrier of entry to create videos was a lot more daunting. You needed a camera, a microphone, video and photo editing software, friends that wouldn't make fun of you, and those are tough to come by. But with TikTok, you just needed like your phone to film and edit videos. So anybody on earth with a phone can just start creating content. And don't get me wrong, that's great. It opens up a world of creativity, and that coupled with the TikTok algorithm, it gives anybody the opportunity to gain success with their creativity. On the flip side of anybody being able to make a video, anybody can make a video. And some people suck. Pretty sizable percentage of content creators will do pretty much anything for likes and attention, as we've seen over the years. But the one thing I've noticed that people will do, on TikTok especially, they'll just like film strangers for their own videos without the stranger's consent. And of course, this has been happening for as long as video cameras have existed. Dude, even with the very first video ever uploaded to YouTube, me at the zoo, dude, it features two weird looking people in the background being filmed without their consent. And they'll never forget that. But I've noticed this trend of filming people without their consent has grown in frequency and severity over the past few years. And I figured it'd be interesting to look at some of these instances and dissect them, talk about them, figure out why it's happening.
Stop filming me!
The first video that really got me thinking about this whole concept was this video of a guy dancing in Times Square. At the beginning of the video, he's trying to get some high fives from people. The first girl doesn't give him a high five, so he goes to another girl, and she immediately shakes her head and hides in her friend group, visibly upset. So her friend gives him a high five just to get him out of there. He starts dancing, and that second girl can be seen crying later on in the video. And of course, in response, you had comments like this. Why is she crying? It's only a high five. Skull emoji, crying emoji. I mean, I would be like, okay, that's strange, but high five him and get on with my day. And yeah, sure, most people would give this person a high five and go on with their day. But to this person who left that comment, you're not every person. Everybody's different, you know? I swear, dude, the comments I see on TikTok, people are so fucking stupid. I swear, dude, a fucking food blogger could post a video being like, this is why peanut butter is good for you. And then someone will leave a comment that says, well, I have a nut allergy. Okay, scroll past it then. That video's clearly not for you. Then again, I don't think this world is for you if a single nut can kill you. Sorry, I'm just kidding. No offense to people who are allergic to nuts.
You just got nutted on.
Imagine this is where we find out I developed a nut allergy. But back to the dancing video. It's just so weird being like, yo, why the fuck is she crying, bro? When that wouldn't have happened if he wasn't filming and also touching strangers without their consent in the first place. We don't know what people are going through or how they're gonna react to whatever fucking video you're recording.
Hello, Editing Curtis here. So I found out after the fact that the person who was touched by the stranger actually uses they, them pronouns. But when I was filming, I didn't know that. So I said I used she, her. So I apologize for that. Just wanted to come and clarify. But okay, back to the video.
And shortly after this video went viral and, after everybody was making fun of this random girl, her sister apparently made a TikTok explaining why she was crying. She said that her sister has autism, she's hard of hearing, and also has contamination OCD.
What feels like nothing to us can feel like their skin is burning and they need to clean it as soon as possible. This is not a response that they can control.
So knowing that, it's pretty understandable why she felt overwhelmed and uncomfortable in that moment, right? And obviously there's no way the dancer could have known that, but still, she wouldn't have cried if you didn't touch her. So how about we just stop touching strangers? Unless you're like a massage therapist or something, then I guess you kind of have to. But no, that's different because they're consenting, so that's totally fine. It would be crazy if someone went in for a massage and they were like, yo, what the fuck? Are you touching? And the thing I dislike the most about that whole situation was just the amount of comments calling out the person who was crying and not the person who made her cry.
You're upset about the wrong thing.
In videos like this dancing video, it kind of ruins it for everybody because if you do end up being in one of these stranger TikToks, it kind of forces you to be happy-go-lucky and be down for whatever they're doing because you don't want to seem like a dick on camera if you're not down. And then you end up going viral and then you just get reduced to your reaction. But the thing is, you're not being a dick if you're annoyed by someone poking you and shit. That's fucking annoying. On the other hand, I don't necessarily think it's people's fault for reacting that way. I think people going their whole lives with access to a high quality camera that fits in their pocket is something we were never meant to experience. We should not have these. I'm gonna keep it, but we shouldn't have them. So it's unfortunately become common knowledge that you could be filmed at any time, at any place, for any reason. And it's normal to just expect that. Which sucks, dude. It's rotting our fucking brains, dude. And I have proof, okay? Look at this interaction on Twitter. Can someone explain this style to me? I feel like a boomer. Yeah, it's shit. And you just know they're so mean. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're so mean. You just know they're so mean. You just posted a picture of strangers on the internet making fun of their outfits. You're mean. You're an asshole. Dude, that's so fucking crazy. That's like if I posted a picture of me, hypothetically, sharing a passionate, closed eyes kiss with another man. And then I was like, yo, what the fuck, bruh? That guy was gay as hell for kissing me like that.
Plug.
Also, Hasanabi? Nah, Hasanan me.
Plug.
Fellas, is it gay to kiss Hassan Piker? You get what I'm saying though, right? This is ridiculous. This person sees nothing wrong with what they just said. And again, it's not their fault. I don't think they see strangers as actual real people. To them, they're just NPCs in the video game that is their life. And if this person's life was a video game, it would be Bully. But believe it or not, depending on where you are in the world, taking photos of strangers can actually have some pretty gnarly consequences. Because recently, this person took a picture of a couple riding the train in Tokyo and said, on the train in Tokyo, you just know they're going to go home and watch The Big Bang Theory together. That's such a weird thing to post, dude. Mostly because it's not even that good of a roast. You just know these people are gonna go home and watch one of the most successful popular sitcoms of all time. Okay. Good one. And the aftermath of that tweet was pretty crazy. So this was posted on August 10th, and just a short 12 days later, she posted this follow-up tweet. Deportation from Japan is a traumatizing experience. I am in California right now dealing with the after effects / trying to process everything that has gone on. The anti-smoking laws as well as laws about public photography are extremely restrictive and prohibit personal freedom. Now look, I don't say this too often, but I think this particular situation calls for it. Bazinga!
Bazinga!
Bazinga! Bazinga! So hard. Textbook Bazinga! She big on my theory, so I bang. The balls to call it a traumatizing experience. You know what else is traumatizing? Getting posted on Twitter to be made fun of in front of thousands of people, you jackass. And also, I looked up the anti-smoking laws in Japan. They're the most normal anti-smoking laws ever. You just can't smoke in schools or hospitals, which is very fair. She wanted to smoke, but she didn't want to smoke. And dude, the next part about public photography, that's fucking crazy to call it that. Because it's not like she was taking some like moody, artistic photo with a fucking DSLR or something. She took a sneaky ass picture of two non-consenting adults on the train to make fun of them online. Also, one further, she says that it inhibits personal freedoms. What are you talking about? It didn't prohibit any freedoms, okay? You can still do it, you just have to live with the consequences, which can also be said for the production of The Big Bang Theory. Bazinga! And look, I'm no saint. I'm making fun of strangers in my head all day long, and you're lying if you say you aren't doing that as well. Or if I'm with my friends, we'll talk shit on people like all day long. It's the fucking best. I love that shit. But I would never publicly make fun of somebody unless they deserved it. Sorry, I forgot for a second that my job for the past 4 years has been solely making fun of people. But I wasn't filming them without their consent. It's not like in my video about Brent Rivera, I was like hiding in his walls, fucking recording him without his consent, you know? I don't live in your walls, Brent Rivera. You live outside of mine. It's just so fucked up to me to see someone exist and then to have the balls to like pull out your phone and start recording them, dude. That's crazy. Like this video, for example. Guys, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, are you? Oh my god, are you gonna cry? You are? Oh my god, wow. You're such a nice person for having empathy for this old man eating alone. Wow. Oh, and what a kind way to show your empathy. Recording him without his knowledge and posting it so we can all feel pity for him. You're a saint. You're doing the Lord's work. Dude, if you feel bad for this old man eating alone, go sit with him. Even though I doubt he would want you to sit with him, because if you're the type of person to film someone eating alone and then post it to your fucking TikTok, you're probably a nightmare to hang out with. Like, fucking God forbid someone is eating alone at a restaurant, dude. Like, do you know how fun that is to do? It's fucking awesome, man. We gotta switch the narrative, dude. Eating alone or going to the movies alone doesn't make you a loser. The movies were made for a singular experience, right? A movie theater seat only sits one person. Same as restaurants, dude. Sure, the menu might say that the nachos serves 2 to 4 people, but that's not a rule. That's a challenge. What the hell? But obviously the reason they're so upset about this person eating alone is because he's elderly. And if you're old, no matter what you do by yourself, people will be sad about it. Even if an old man was just driving down the street alone, people will stop and stare and point, even though that's probably just to make sure he doesn't fall asleep at the wheel. I think the reason people feel this way is when you see an old person eating alone, it sucks to say out loud, but you assume they're alone because they're partner like passed away or something, right? But again, just like the Times Square video, we don't know what people are going through. We don't know their story. We don't know the details of their lives, so why make assumptions? When you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and you know what I mean? Why film this video? Who knows what this old man's story really is? Oh my god, that's so sad. He's all alone over there. He looks so sweet, too. I'm gonna go eat with him. Hey, you, mind if I join you? Oh, no, I don't mind. I hope you don't think this is weird. I saw you eating alone, and I don't know, you kind of reminded me of my grandpa, so I just figured No, I get it. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Truth be told, I have been pretty lonely lately. It's been difficult. I'm so sorry. When my grandma passed, my grandpa had a really rough go, but you know, as time went on, it got a little easier for him. Wait, how did you know my wife died? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I just assumed that, you know, you were alone. It's that obvious, huh? She was the best. You know, we were soulmates. But at least I can take solace in the fact that no one will ever find her body. Yeah. Wait, what? You're not gonna find her body, okay? She's gone. What are you saying? Don't be so coy. Don't act like she didn't deserve it, Peter. That's not my name. She made my life a living hell after I slept with her sister. Oh my god. And scammed a cancer research facility. Oh my god. And burned down a sizable chunk of the Amazon rainforest. Oh my god. She had it coming, Dave. Still not my name. Hold on, is that an eyeball? Oh my god, dude, are you eating your wife? Hey, wouldn't be the first time. What the fuck? You're a monster. You're sick. I'm taking a picture of you. You're not getting away with this. Don't! You just know they're going to go home and watch The Big Bang Theory together. And I think this filming strangers thing sort of runs tandem with main character syndrome.
We all say.
Which is a term used to describe a tendency among people to view themselves as the lead character in their own life story. The people filming these videos of strangers can't possibly grasp the idea that strangers are also sentient beings with memories, feelings, aspirations, fears, homicidal tendencies, and it makes them do these stupid, embarrassing things like include strangers in their weird videos. Exhibit A!
These NPCs piss me off.
He literally referred to people just walking by him at the gym as NPCs, dude. That is psycho behavior. That is future serial killer type shit. Keep an eye on that guy. That's another huge thing I came across while researching videos for this topic. People that film themselves at gyms are usually humongous assholes. I've seen so many videos of people filming themselves working out at the gym, and then when someone walks by their camera, at a public gym, may I add, they fucking freak out and huff and puff. It's so weird. People are at the gym to work out. They shouldn't have to worry about accidentally being in some fucking influencer's video. Do they really expect the average gym goer to fucking tiptoe around the gym and treat it like a minefield and try not to get in between a tripod and a ring light? And also, while we're on the topic, how many fucking fitness influencers do we really need? You know, this is how I lift weights. Cool, man. Chicken and rice is good for you.
Well, I have a chicken allergy.
Exhibit B.
Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry in advance. My name is Alexander Starr. I just released a song. I'm trying to get more listens. I'm going to sing it for you guys right here. I hope you enjoy. I don't want your money. Don't care. I'm a little drunk and I can go right now. Real talk. Should not start you a door right now. Cause we're both at a party. But you can get somebody new. You're a dick.
How about we shrink that guitar down? All right, because I'm going to need a ukulele apology right now, with tears. I'm all for making music and getting your name out there, but the people that you're zooming in on and shit, they're on their way to their third job of the day. Shut up, you know? Also, starting off an acoustic song with the words no cap, that's got to be some sort of crime, right? Sorry, maybe I'm just being an asshole, because everybody clapped when it was over. Or sorry, they clapped because it was over. Exhibit from Pimp My Ride. TikTok is just so fucking annoying sometimes, man. I'm sure I'm just getting old, but the way people behave on there is so depressing. When I was looking through TikToks for this video, I saw a few of them with the caption, "I took videos of strangers and turned them into main characters. Let's see how they did that." you can take out the and turn them into main characters, because hey, man. No, you didn't. I turned them into main character. What do you listen to yourself, man? Wake up. What are you talking about? You just filmed people and then posted them. That's it. And like filming adults without their consent is crazy. But this person was filming children as well. Yo, 2 little girls like dancing and he's just on the other side of the park like... Let's definitely not do that, okay? If filming strangers isn't gonna stop, which it won't, but if it's something that's unavoidable, I think we can all agree that people should stop filming children. Especially children who aren't yours. Yo, that's never gonna go over well. Hey, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? Those are my kids.
No, you don't get it. I was making them the main characters.
Okay, how do you like it?
Hey, what the hell, man? Get the fucking camera out of my face. What are you doing? Stop!
Yeah, now you're gonna be the main character.
The main character of what?
I'm Chris Hansen, and this is
I feel like with any issue that we're facing today, as time goes on, it's only going to get worse. I have zero faith in us. But at the end of the day, it's the creator's responsibility to keep things like this in mind. Because trust me on this, I'm being serious. People don't want to be in your fucking TikToks, okay? Life is hard enough as it is. We shouldn't have to worry about fucking TikTokers coming up to you on your way to work being like, what song are you listening to? What song? I've never heard of that one. Can you sing it to me? I honestly don't think I'm asking too much when I say, please stop filming strangers. But if there's no other content you can make, if you really want to film them, maybe just do a quick, hey, I'm filming a quick video and you might be in it. Is that okay? If you're delusional and confident enough to film these videos with strangers in them without their consent, you should have no problem going up to them and asking permission to do it beforehand. I think the only strangers you should and can legally film are police officers. Everything I just said in this video, it doesn't apply to them, okay? I encourage filming police officers wholeheartedly. When you see a cop talking to someone, or if they're talking to you, I want you to pretend like you're the director of the 1995 movie Babe and film that pig. Man, all this pig talk is making me hungry for some epic bacon. And when I'm hungry, I make some delicious food with HelloFresh. That's right, this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. For those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that I've been eating HelloFresh every single week for like 4 years now, and I can't imagine my life without it. And if you've never tried HelloFresh, now is the best time to kickstart a fresh fall routine. HelloFresh handles all the meal planning and shopping to deliver everything you need to cook up a tasty meal right at home. They do the hard part, and you get to take the credit. HelloFresh is amazing because it makes it simple and effortless to cook meals that I wouldn't usually cook. Like black bean and kale quesadillas, dude? There's no way I would come up with that on my own. Are you kidding me? And a new season calls for new meals. And HelloFresh has a fresh fall lineup of delicious dinners and more to choose from. Take your pick from 40 weekly recipes that suit your lifestyle, from veggie to family-friendly to fit and wholesome. Whatever you want. And obviously, dinner isn't the only meal of the day, and HelloFresh knows that. Because HelloFresh is more than just dinners. You can also stock your fridge with easy breakfasts, quick lunches, and fresh snacks. Just shop HelloFresh Market and add any of these tasty, time-saving solutions to your weekly box. A couple weeks back, I ordered the egg salad sandwich kit. It's like one of the best egg salad sandwiches I've ever had in my life, dude. It was crazy. So if you want to save time and money while reducing the stress of weekly meal planning and prepping, HelloFresh is perfect for you. And there's literally no better time to get started because HelloFresh is hooking up the citizens of Kurtistown with an amazing deal. Just go to HelloFresh.com and use the code 50Kurtistown at checkout for 50% off. Plus free shipping. Yeah, dude, you heard me. 50% off plus free shipping. What are you waiting for? Thanks again to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video and so many others in the past. Like I said, we eat HelloFresh literally every week and we swear by it. So I really hope you give them a try. You won't regret it. Trust me. Okay, thank you, HelloFresh. Back to me. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press the like button because believe it or not, 1 like equals 1 old person I will eat. Sorry, too long of a pause. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Because, yeah, this is a pretty interesting topic, and I probably didn't do a good job covering it. You can subscribe if you want, because as soon as you press the subscribe button, you become a valued citizen of Kurtistown. If you didn't know, Kurtistown is the best place to live in the world, and I'm the mayor, so you have to be nice to me. It's the law. You can check the description for the other things I do, Instagram, Twitter, podcast, merch. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I would stick around, but unfortunately, I have to go watch every single episode of The Big Bang Theory. Bazinga. Okay, yes, I'm getting a message from an older man.
Oh, that must be my dad.
Your dad. It's your dad. I knew that.
How'd you know that?
Okay, it seems like he died in a very tragic way. It was sad when he died. I think.
Yeah, it was sad.
Did it involve balls?
What?
Like did he die in a wrecking ball accident?
No, it was cancer.
Testicular? I'm getting my money's worth with that for Shigi. Okay, folks. Happy New Year. TikTok is still terrible. So we've all heard the saying, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. But you know what? I don't agree with that. I could just not pay my taxes. Oh, what's gonna happen? They're gonna put me in jail? A place where I can continue to not pay my taxes? Sounds pretty good to me. I'm joking, by the way. I pay my taxes every year on time, and I love it. The one thing we can be sure of, though, is death. You know, dying and leaving all of your belongings to your loved ones, if you will. And it's scary, right? Death is scary because we don't know what happens. That's why nobody has ever had sex, okay? Nobody knows what it's like. And as skeptical as I am about the existence of a god or an afterlife, there's still a big part of me that wants to believe that my loved ones that have passed away are still out there somewhere, you know, watching over me, except when I'm shitting or evading my taxes. So for obvious reasons, death brings a lot of sadness, fear, and uncertainty to people. And when there's sadness, fear, and uncertainty, there's gonna be people trying to capitalize on that. Which brings us to the topic of today's video. Mediums. Just fucking wear a large already. Make a whole video about people who wear a size medium. Average ass bitch, dude. Go up or down. I'm talking about psychic mediums, obviously. Psychics who wear mediums. For those of you who are unfamiliar, a medium is someone who can like mediate communication between the dead and the living. And like a ghost, I'm gonna be transparent here for a second. A little while back, I did have a medium come on my podcast and give me like a reading. And I'm gonna be honest, it was actually kind of crazy. I am very gullible, so maybe that played a part, but she knew things about my dead family members that she should not have. It was crazy. So there are mediums who are like legitimate, trustworthy, professional, but you know, amidst the real mediums and the mediums of the Long Island variety, there are some bad ones. Oh yeah. Mediums that are just in it for the cash, you know? Even though all of these people are dead, so I mean, kind of on brand. But no, there's people who are in it to just make a quick buck. South Park did like a whole episode about these people.
But I'm a psychic. No, dude, you're a douche. I'm not a douche. What if I really believe dead people talk to me? Then you're a stupid douche.
Also, dude, I remember coming home from school every Wednesday. Me and my sister would watch the Montel Williams show. Because every Wednesday, he would bring on a medium named Sylvia Brown. Rest in peace, by the way. She loved talking to dead people so much that she became one. She would go on the Montel Williams show every week, and she would get stuff wrong all the time. And what's even funnier than that, they kept bringing her back every fucking week, no matter how many things she got wrong.
I lost my boyfriend tragically a few years ago. They never found him.
The reason why you didn't find him is because he's in water. You can't find somebody.
Well, it was September 11th. There was no, he was a fireman, but...
Well, if they were trying to put the fire out, Montel, they could have, you know,
Whoa. And sadly, the Montel Williams show was canceled, so where do these bad mediums go in the modern age? TikTok Live, of course, which is arguably the worst place on the internet. I swear, dude, the only people that go live on TikTok are like future Batman villains. They are fucking insane, dude. They are doing the weirdest shit ever. I hate it. But the medium we're going to be talking about today goes by the name of Psychic Natalia. She does these TikTok live streams where she communicates with people's dead loved ones for a price, of course. And look, like I said, the jury is still out on whether people can be psychic or not. But I could say with 100% certainty that this person is not psychic. This person is a scam artist. And please know that I'm using the term artist the same way Subway does. So I thought, for this video, we'd go through some highlights from Psychic Natalia's live streams because some pretty crazy shit has gone down. So first off, let's learn a little bit about Natalia. She's a newer psychic, and we know this from a 2020 Facebook post that reads, okay, so apparently I found out today that I am psychic and a medium. I have 3 times in the past month woken in the middle of the night because of a name being said in my ear over and over to the point it wakes me up. Each time this has hapo3 to me. 3 times, as I said now, in the past month, it is a first and a last name, and when I Google it, it is someone who has recently passed. I spoke with a medium friend of mine who tells me I have psychic abilities. Freaky. One share. Okay. Freaky indeed. I was first introduced to Natalia by a TikTok that popped up on my For You page. So I guess someone paid for a reading from Natalia, and she just says the most vague, generic things of all time that could pretty much apply to anybody.
So I'm seeing your uncle with dark hair, taller man. He wasn't really tall, but he was taller. I'm seeing him as a very bubbly, very energetic person. But most of all, your uncle really loved you, sweetheart, okay? He had a big love for you. I'm saying the two of you were extremely, extremely close. Thank you, Water.
Also, the random TikTok hat that materializes on her head while she's doing that doesn't really add to her legitimacy at all. Yeah, I'm sensing a deep sadness in your heart and all of your loved ones when your dad tragically passed away.
Cheers, Goblin just donated 200 TikTok coins.
Alright, you know what that means.
What the fuck?
Your dad's in hell, by the way.
Perfect.
Okay, so she goes on to say that this person's uncle died from cancer.
Unfortunately, his life was taken. He was quite young. This was a type of cancer or illness that took his life.
And then she asked this person to type in the chat whether or not she is correct.
I'm gonna just put the chat back on to see if I am connecting properly, because there's a lot of people in here.
And this is where we find out her uncle did not die from cancer. He actually took his own life. So she's wrong. And instead of admitting her mistake, moving on, refunding the money, maybe, she does this.
Yeah, he did kill himself. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I did say his life was taken quite quickly. That is what I said.
What the fuck?
This was a type of cancer or illness that took his life. Yeah, he did kill himself. Yeah, that is what I said.
Those aren't the same thing. Dude. Also, that's not what you said. You said his life was taken.
Unfortunately, his life was taken.
Which is not an impressive psychic reading at all. Hey, can you tell me about my dead dad? He died. And as the reading goes on, she just keeps digging her grave deeper and deeper and deeper.
Relax, guys. You don't know what it is like to be a medium. I don't know if it was cancer. It's a guessing game with that, okay?
No, it's not okay. Actually, it's not okay at all. Dude, also that smile she does after? It's a guessing game, okay? Aww. Pretty much admitting she's not psychic at all. I was just guessing, I don't know. And the craziest thing about all of this, she sees no problem with what she just said.
Why are people so rude? Why are you guys even here? If you don't believe in me, what would you like?
So once everybody's turned on her, she tries to explain why she thought that, I guess.
When I see spirit, I see a shadow, not that I need to tell you. So I see it's a man or a female. They don't tell me how they died, I just feel the pain. So I felt an intense pain, so I said probably cancer.
Okay, sure, but that also doesn't make any fucking sense because literally 30 seconds before she said that he had dark hair.
So I'm seeing your uncle with dark hair.
Also, to be sorry, I just felt your uncle in an insane amount of pain. He suffered a lot. You feel better?
So I felt an intense pain, so I said probably cancer.
Could you say worse shit to someone?
Why are people so rude?
It's just so frustrating to watch because imagine paying someone for a service and then when they get everything wrong, they're just well, I don't know, I'm guessing. Why are you being so mean to me? And dude, you just gotta look up her name on TikTok. There are countless examples of her getting everything wrong. Hi. So in my quest to find clips of Natalia getting things wrong, I ended up discovering way more clips that not only show Natalia as a bad psychic, but a bad person. So this montage has changed a little bit. Slight trigger warning here for some racism. All right.
Was the name by any chance a J or a G?
No.
Please know that when somebody passes, the last thing to go, I used to be a nurse, is the brain.
I said I used to work in healthcare. I never claimed to be a nurse.
I used to be a nurse. So the initials J or G doesn't mean anything to you?
No.
I got pissed off and I called somebody the N-word and then I apologized, so now they can't get over it. This friend of yours that passed away had an addiction, correct?
No.
Okay, so let's just focus on the people that are gifting and not the haters. This was a car crash?
No.
Nothing I said made sense. Well, that's funny because I talked to you before and you told me you did have a cousin that passed away. Was he either a guitar player or a singer? Because I am seeing a form of music coming through.
No.
Or do you work? Or are you on welfare? Are you get cotton and eat watermelon? You have his ashes? No.
And look, if she was doing this as like just a hobby, I guess it wouldn't be as bad, but she's charging people like real money and not like $1 or $2, like $100 plus for these readings. Yet at the same time, she claims that she isn't doing it for the money.
I'm not here to make money. I am here to help people with connection.
But if that was true, she obviously wouldn't be on TikTok live charging people an insane amount of money for the shit service that she's providing.
Why are people so rude?
And also, this isn't her only source of income, allegedly. She's apparently like raking in dough from like all of her other jobs that she has.
I have helped find bodies with police. I'm very gifted. I have a massage business. I'm a registered massage therapist. I have an auto shop and a cleaning business. I have people working for me. Why would I clock in?
So it doesn't seem like she needs to be making money from these psychic readings, right? Unless she's just lying about what she does for a living.
It's not your business what I do for a living.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry. Dude, that is so funny. She told everybody all the jobs she has.
It's not your business what I do for a living.
That's like if I got mad at all of you for knowing that I'm a YouTuber. That's private. There's just so many shitty things that this Natalia person has done. I'm like struggling to not make this video like an hour long. But unfortunately, no matter how many shitty things this person does, people still send her money.
I made $400. People don't like that. I've made up to 3,000 in one live, so.
And I guess her address got like leaked, so people are just sending stuff to her house.
Somebody sent me Meow Mix thinking it was funny, but thank you so much because I have a poor friend who has a cat that will love this. Toilet paper, food items, whatever you want, anything. It will all go to my poor friend that has nothing. So thank you for the cat food.
Okay, it is so crazy to refer to one of your friends as your poor friend. Dude. So then I said, yeah, take him off life support. I don't even know the guy. That's a good one. Thank you. Thanks. All right, are you guys having fun without me? Come on. Hey. Oh, hey, man. Hey, Scott. Let me introduce you to my poor friend here. Hey, man. Nice to meet you. Wait, sorry. Hold on. Did you just call me your poor friend? Yeah. You are poor, right? Dude, what the fuck? Times are tough, man. I got laid off. Okay, so should I call you my laid off friend? Like, no, I don't like that either. Why not just friend, you know? Friend. Hey guys, I think I'm gonna go. Seems like you guys have a lot of stuff to work out. So, oh, you're not going anywhere, violent friend. I'll kill you! Ah! Holy shit, dude, what? Do you want me to call 911? Oh, with what? Dude, you can't afford a cell phone. Hey, come on, man. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna strangle you. You're poor! Well, this might be genuinely one of the worst people I have ever encountered on the internet. And I was like racking my brain on how someone like this can even exist. And then I found out she's from Manitoba. I know. It all makes sense now, dude. For those of you who aren't familiar, Manitoba is like the Ohio of Canada. Manitoba is like where a Dark Souls boss battle takes place, dude. It sucks. And if you're in Manitoba right now watching my videos, you know, you're subscribed and stuff. I don't mean to offend you or anything, you know, it's just joking around, but also at the same time, move. Well, like I said earlier, she is a scam artist, and there was one in particular that really stands out to me. I guess one time she just needed extra money, so she went and did a live stream saying that she was gonna get evicted so she could get some people to donate money to her.
I came on live to do readings in hopes that somebody would send me a lion to get me out of the predicament I'm in thanks to an old roommate.
Okay, so I should clarify, a lion is like a gift that you send on TikTok live. That's like the currency of like there's like a bunch of different fucking bullshit you can send to people. But it's a gift on TikTok. It's not like a live lion. I was hoping someone would send me a lion, get me out of this predicament I'm in.
Do you want the truth? If everybody sent me a lion, I'd be out of my predicament.
Okay, so when she said that, I was like, okay, maybe a lion is like what, like $1 or something? Maybe like $2, right? No, a lion is $400. So she wants every single person in her live stream to spend $400 on her to get her out of her predicament. She usually has like 1,000 people in her live streams. That's 400 grand. Dude, where are you living? That is so much money for, dude. How about you get all those spirits you live with? How about they chip in a little bit, you know? And it's sad because in this live stream, some poor person, and I mean poor as in like, not like my poor friend got laid off. Some poor person sends Natalia $100. And this is Natalia's reaction to that.
You sent it wrong.
Yeah, so she sends it back.
I have to send it back to you. You sent it the way you weren't supposed to.
And then asks for more money from them.
But it's charging me $4. So if you could send 110, because it just took money from me.
And when they don't send her more money, she sends them a formal request.
I'm sending you a request, Vicky, because I don't have it. Did you resend it? I just can't sit here and wait all night.
And then if all of that wasn't shitty enough, she ends the live stream by saying she was never getting evicted.
And I'm not getting evicted?
I wasn't actually getting evicted. It's a guessing game with that sort of stuff, okay? Why are you being so rude? So again, I'm a little confused as to why she's on TikTok crying about not having enough money to make rent while simultaneously bragging about how much money she's making on TikTok. Something's not adding up.
Trust me, we don't make a lot of money. We could sit here for 8 hours and we're lucky if we get $50. And I've made $400. I don't really make much on live at all. I've made up to $3,000 in one live.
But whatever, let's entertain the idea that she's not actually making a lot of money and she actually was getting evicted. You'd think someone going through something like that would have a little bit of compassion for someone who's in a similar financial situation. Nope.
I'm gonna end my live because obviously you guys are too poor to send $1, so
Also, it's very funny to call people poor with the phone quality looking like that too.
You guys are broke as fuck, man. You gotta get your money up, dude. You see how many fingers I'm holding up? That's how many millions I have.
And usually the one thing about a good scam artist is that, like, to the end, they never admit that it was a scam. Even if all the evidence is stacked against them, they're like, I don't know. But Natalia's different, okay? She'll admit to scamming people while she's streaming live.
I know how to make money. Look at me. I do nothing.
So the list of terrible things this person is doing is never ending. But even with the lying for money, exploiting people's trauma, insulting people for not donating, and living in Manitoba, the worst offense of all is she straight up pisses and shits while she's live streaming on TikTok. Yeah, and I'm not joking. She literally streams while she streams. I'm gonna put a timestamp on screen right now. It's right there, okay? So if you don't want to hear a middle-aged woman absolutely wreak havoc on some porcelain, just jump forward to that time, save yourself. All right, you have been warned. The rest of you, you're fucking nasty. Here's the clip. Yo, dude, that's so fucking gross, dude. Ew, man.
Guess what? I just did myself. Now I know I'm sick.
It's not even a one-time thing either. Like, it's several times. You remember that original Facebook post where she, like, discovered she was a medium? Like, and she kept getting woken up by a name said in her ear, like, over and over again? I feel like it was her own name. I feel like it was her roommate saying her own name in her ear, being like, Natalia, 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 stop fucking farting and shitting the bed. You're stinky, stinky. And then she woke up, she's like, oh my God, I'm psychic. Good God, dude. I know she said she's a medium, but that one was large. Like, obviously that's bad for the person who paid, you know, for the reading, right? Pay a psychic to do that, and the whole time they're just like... But dude, imagine what it's like for the spirit trying to communicate, you know? Okay, thank you for the $100. Your dad's actually in the room right now. Hey, can you please tell my son that I love him very much, and I'm watching over him every day? Yeah, sure, whatever. Excuse me, I'm trying to pass on a message here. Yeah, and I'm trying to pass gas. Alright? Okay, so it turns out your dad's actually kind of a dick. Dude, that's messed up. If I wasn't a ghost right now, I would straight up kick your ass. Yeah, whatever, man. Come on in, it's open. Oh no! Guys, I didn't mean a real lion! Ah! Oh man, am I dead? Yeah. And now I can kick your ass. Ah, crap. Ghostbusters! Alright, well, I think that's enough of that person forever. I think in conclusion, if you believe in an afterlife and stuff, and you want to pay a medium to communicate with a dead person, you do some research first. Make sure they're reputable and professional. Maybe don't go to TikTok live. But honestly, dude, if you want to talk to a dead person, just Talk to anybody. We're all dead, just not yet. Whoa, hold up. Sorry, I think I'm getting a vision. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. Folks, I know you've got some New Year's goals, and HelloFresh is here to help you achieve them. Skip the grocery store and take control of your time and budget with delicious recipes delivered right to your door. Look, I know how easy it is to get takeout and delivery all the time, but there's truly nothing as good as a home-cooked meal. And with HelloFresh, it's fast, easy, and affordable to whip up restaurant-quality meals all by yourself in the comfort of your own home. My wife and I have been eating HelloFresh like literally every week for years now, and I honestly think it has made me a better cook in the process. So you're not only saving time and money, but you're also learning things. And it's important to know that the food you're putting into your body is high quality. And with HelloFresh, ingredients travel from the farm to you in less than 7 days. So you know the food you're cooking with is fresh. And you also know they weren't surrounded by a bunch of other fruits and vegetables with some random strangers poking them and squeezing them and stuff. And hey, I live in Toronto, and it's pretty much a nightmare to go outside ever for any reason at this time of year. So a trip to the grocery store is like the last thing I want to do. But luckily, with HelloFresh Market, you can simply add snacks, sides, desserts, and more right to your weekly order, and they'll arrive at your doorstep along with your meals. The future is now. And to sweeten the deal, HelloFresh is hooking up the citizens of Curtistown with an amazing deal. Just go to HelloFresh.com and use code Curtistown21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Yeah, you heard me.
21?
Like I said, we've been eating HelloFresh for years now, and I honestly cannot recommend them enough. We were just on vacation in California, like over the holidays, and the whole time we were complaining about like how much we missed HelloFresh. Like we're obsessed, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys check them out. You won't be disappointed. And also helps me out when you guys check out the sponsor. So yeah, again, click the link in the description or go to HelloFresh.com and use code Curtistown21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Thank you so much, HelloFresh, for sponsoring this video and so many others in the past. Back to me. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button because one like
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sensitive palate.
I actually like hot sauce.
How about guacamole?
I don't really know what we're talking about anymore.
Burritos.
Get more with Geico.
New Cantu Weightless Collection, powered by blue agave that locks in moisture and fights frizz.
The sad machine to the TV screens. Let love win when it's hard to find, when it's cold outside. I'm alright out here in a lost land. These fever dreams won't let me sleep. So come real close, if only for a moment. I don't care where it's going, and show me what'll happen when we let love win. 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 When we let love win.